Welcome to Heath Riles BBQ. On today's episode of Shooting the Q, we're going to be cooking an Australian Wagyu New York Strip from our good friend Kevin Green at the Butcher Shoppe in Pensacola, Florida. As you can see, this steak is marbled up beautiful. It's going to cook great over that Royal Oak charcoal on the PK grill. Let's get started. I'm going to keep the seasoning simple today on this Australian Wagyu steak. It had a score of 9 on the Australian scale, which is one of the top steaks that you can get. I'm going to start off by using just a little bit of olive oil to coat my steak in. I'm going to rub it all the way around. I'm not going to do any trimming on this steak either. Now, once I get it coated in olive oil real good, I'm going to come back with my basic AP rub, which is my everyday rub, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, and a few other ingredients. Now remember, you can season this steak kind of heavy because this is a big piece of meat. It can take it. Now, once I get my everyday rub put on, I'm going to come back with a little bit of my beef rub here. Just kind of a light coat, just to accent. Now, once I do that, I'm going to come back. I'm going to take all of it on the plate here and kind of just sop it up and everything that we've done. Now I'm going to come back with a little bit of sea salt here. Mash it in. And a little bit of fresh ground black pepper. I really like a peppery note on a big steak like this. Now, I'm going to let that steak sit here and absorb it in for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to get it on our PK grill. All right, as you can see, I went ahead and put a probe in my steak here. I don't want to overcook it, so I've set my grill up for a 2-zone fire, which means I've got charcoal on one side and a cool side on the other. So I'm going to go ahead and I've got my probe set to 100 degrees. I'm going to get the steak over on the cool side. I'm going to shut the grill. Now, I'm cooking on my PK 360 today. If you don't have one, you can always just set any grill up for a 2-zone fire. Get that steak on, let it come up to 100, and we're going to sear it off hot and fast. Now, the reason I'm not going to put it on the coals directly first, it's such a thick steak and got so much fat in it that it will start flaming up. So I'm going to go to my opposite side, and then we're going to hit the method, what I call just keep turning the steak when we start searing it. All right, let's get the grill lid shut. All right, you can see our steak's hit 100 degrees now. It's actually 101. I'm going to go ahead and pull our probe out. Man, that steak is looking great. But let's get a sear on it now. You can see how the fat on that steak starts rendering and it's going to flare up your fire. That's why, since it was so thick, I didn't want to grill it off totally. Now, what I talked about, I just want to keep turning that steak until we reach the desired temp. I'm going to go back and forth to the cool side and just keep rolling like that. All right, now that we're at 130 degrees, we're going to go ahead and pull our steak and let it rest. Now I went ahead and I pulled our steak off. It's rested for about 15 minutes. I pulled it off at 130 degrees. Just to recap, I took an Australian A9 Wagyu strip steak from my good buddy Kevin Green down at the Butcher Shoppe in Pensacola, Florida. I seasoned it with a little bit of everyday rub, some beef rub, a little bit of sea salt, and a little bit of cracked black pepper. I put it on my grill on the cool side and let it go for about 40 to 45 minutes before it hit 100 degrees. I put it over on the fire side, seared it off really good, got the sear I wanted, and I moved it back over to the cold side to finish off because I didn't want to burn it. Total cook time was under an hour. This is a phenomenal piece of beef to be almost 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. It's great. So I grilled some asparagus to go with it. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and look at those juices there. I'm going to go ahead and slice some of this ribeye steak here up. Ribeye, New York Strip. Look at that right there. That moisture is incredible. Now let's just keep going. Now that we've got our New York strip all sliced up, ready to go, there's one final thing left to do, and that's give it a taste. So I'm gonna get in here. Oh, and it's cooked beautiful. I'm gonna cut me a little piece off. That is a showstopper piece of beef. If you're looking to impress anybody, call up Kevin Green down to Butcher Shoppe in Pensacola, Florida, and order you one of these A9 Australian Wagyu steaks. You won't regret it. If you like what we're doing on our channel, be sure to like and subscribe, share it with your friends. We appreciate you for tuning in. Thanks.